he has nothing left to accomplish. I think here's the big thing with this entire conversation. People want the conversation, let's have the conversation. The reason Kevin Owens should leave is this should be making WWE say, we should work together instead of going against each other. Because the more WWE tries to push away from them and try to act like that they really have it all figured out outside the few stars that they have at this point that they've made into at least semi-legitimate stars or legitimate stars for a good little bit. Because let's be real, what's going to happen when Roman loses that title? What's going to happen after Finn Balor wins the title? You see what I mean? Things like what happened when Bobby Lashley loses the title. When a character is better with a title, it looks so oddly weird with them without it that it doesn't even fit anymore, and they're not gonna feel the same anymore. So unless they can make these wrestlers, just the few I mentioned, I don't know, a little bit better with that, then yeah, Kevin Owens wouldn't be a bad departure. But at the moment, Kevin Owens is a horrible depart. As soon as he leaves the WWE, you might as well just say, well, we really scooped the poop. We lost Daniel Bryan, the best in the world. We lost CM Punk, the actual best in the world. I'm sorry, let me restate that. We lost every good wrestler that people liked from New Age to Old Age, because some of these wrestlers were actually really good, funny enough. No matter what the gimmick was, if you would have given enough time to shine, you would have... it's so stupid. I can't do this. Just talk.
Recently decided to leave WWE after spending the last 5 years of his career with them. He joined his wife and his best friends in All Elite Wrestling, making his epic debut at All Out. I think it's extremely easy to say that this was obviously the right and only right decision that he could have made. Vince McMahon's plans for him was to make him Keith Lee's manager because he did not see him as a single...
And that was a problem.
...competitor, mostly due to his size. It sucks that the chairman wasn't able to see the potential in Adam Cole, but it's great to see that he knows his own value and he left. Adam Cole was a lot better than just a manager and is going to absolutely kill it in AEW. I just know that for a fact. He's already one of the hottest things in pro wrestling right now, and he will have his Dynamite debut match next week. All this
He's going to be an awesome TNT champion or AEW world heavyweight champion.
About Adam Cole joining AEW got many other wrestlers excited about this change, and more specifically, Kevin Owens.
There's really no competition. Kevin Owens has nothing left to prove. Even if he could beat Bobby Lashley, I think the best option would be to take him one off of SmackDown. He's not beating Roman, so put him in off the bat, they have to draft him to Raw. After drafting him to Raw, he has to be taken as a legit threat from that point on. He needs to keep the character, not the laughy, goofy character. He needs to keep the character to tell any and everyone off, heel or face. He needs to be unscared. He needs to be able to super kick the mess out of anyone who stands in his way and his goal. He should be kicking right now. He should be super kicking Randy Orton, Matt Riddle to push them out of his way so he can get to Bobby Lashley so he can win the WWE Championship. My honest opinion.
Recent reports suggest that his contract is going to expire sooner than many expected. January 2022 is when Kevin Owens is a free man and can sign wherever he wants. He can make the decision to either stay with the WWE or follow his best friends and sign with Tony Khan. This rumor became more serious when Kevin Owens tweeted the coordinates of Mount Rushmore, which is the name of his former faction. KO could be trolling or he could be very serious. It's hard to tell with this guy because honestly he always does this kind of things. Anyways, in today's video, I'm going to take a look at the pros and cons of him either joining AEW or staying with the WWE. And then after that, I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think he should do.
He can be drafted to either he can go back to NXT and try to reclaim the NXT title from Samoa Joe, or he can go to Raw and grab either United States champion. Wait, or is the United States Championship on SmackDown? He can go get the Intercontinental Championship or the WWE Championship. I feel the WWE Championship is a better fit for him than a Universal, to be honest, because he already won the Universal title. He had a lovely, well, not the best of reigns, but he had a reign with it. I think he needs to be a WWE champion, and I do believe that he should be a dominant champion. He should be less afraid and more on the picking the fights and less of the fights coming to him.
By what I think is going to happen. With all that being said, let's jump right into the video. I want to talk about
AEW gives more room and more possibilities for him to do more things, if you want it to be honest. By itself, Kevin Owens versus CM Punk, that's a big match. Kevin Owens versus Kenny Omega, that's a big match. Kevin Owens versus pretty much any wrestler you can name from the AEW roster, including the women. That's a good match by itself, because I believe that he's that good, personally.
Kevin Owens joining AEW first. With his contract expiring in less than 6 months, Kevin Steen could make his return to professional wrestling, and that is extremely exciting news. Ever since joining WWE, Kevin Owens was a watered-down version of Kevin Steen. I think everyone knows that. Think about the potential of Kevin Owens in a non-PG environment. I think he could produce some of the most interesting and compelling stories.
Yes, I can tell you that Kevin Steen is better than. Let's be real. WWE is family friendly. It has its moments of not, but let's be real. It's majority family friendly. So that's why things like this will always happen. This is why when we get people that are semi bad and stuff like that, when I say bad, I mean the bad guys. Why we cheer so much, because we're not really used to having the bad guy who really has like a brutal edge to him all the time. We're used to a small little brutalness of like maybe like he stole the cake, he bashed the cake. Oh my gosh, he took the title and he threw it into the crowd. Oh my gosh, he's so edgy. But yeah, we're not really used to the loud mouth, just able to say whatever he needs to say, cuss as much as he really needs to cuss just to get his point across. We're not used to it and probably won't get it, so that's a thing.
Storylines and segments if he were to join AEW. Kevin Steen would be able to curse, speak freely, and he would have a creative input in his work. That is something that's always been an issue with the WWE. The best way to describe Kevin Owens in WWE is just bland. Like, he's not terrible.
Okay, I wouldn't say bland. I would say when he's a heel, he's great. As a face, he's also great. But the thing about him is you can tell when he gets going, he gets going. He shouldn't be stopped when he's really starting to let loose. He should just keep going with it. If he can't stop the cussing, and that's understandable, but at least let my man say a few of them. Why am I encouraging cussing? The only reason because that is his character, that is him. That's not something we can just easily change. That's up to him to stop. But hey, you gave him a watered down version, a less hardcore extreme, because let's be real, a lot of them really can take some real brutal hits, and that's what I'm expecting. Loudmouth kind of bounty hunter kind of guy that just doesn't care as long as it fits for him and his family.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say I hate Kevin Owens. I love him. But it does seem like he's been very limited for the last 7 years. And I think he has so much more.
Incorrect. I get how you feel. NXT, I felt like he was at the top of the world when he became NXT champion, top of the world. When he went to the main rosters, when the limitations started to shackle him, because you see that there is a difference between I can betray my best friend and utterly destroy anything in my path for an obvious reason, and we force the friendship to obviously break it along the way. He could have been a better United States champion than me personally. He could have done a lot better, and it's not even his fault why it didn't work so well or why it didn't do so much, because they gave him the WWE treatment when it comes to certain things. WWE likes to make the heel become champion, and the heel a lot of times like before him winning the title, before the heel wins the title, the heel could be like the most destructive person in all of it. But then when he comes, he's like now a kitty. He's, oh my gosh, I wouldn't fight you for the title. No, I can't fight you. No, don't hurt me. I said don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. But no, when they should just be like, look, bro, I'm champion. Leave me alone. I'm going to hurt you if you come in this ring. Like, that's a small example, but come on. That's what I'm saying. They kind of play too much when it comes to that. They want the heels to be this scared coward that'd be like, I'll fight you. Come on in the ring. Come on. Oh, gotta run. I'm smarter than you.
To offer, and I think he can achieve that in AEW. In the last few years, the only memorable program he had was with Roman Reigns for.
Yes, that is very much a problem. His most memorable moment is a Roman Reigns match that he technically won because of a botch, because they couldn't unlock the handcuffs in time.
The Universal Championship. That is where we saw him shine. However, that is a problem. KO has only been a part of one interesting storyline for the last few years, and that only lasted a.
And then even then, he should be right now, if you want to be honest. Wait, the United States Champion it's on Raw, right? It's on Raw or SmackDown. I don't care. Look, it's sad that I forgot. Oh, it is on SmackDown. It is because what's his name? What's your name? You know what I mean, bro. I forgot your name. I forgot his name. I'm so sorry. But Kevin Owens could be chasing after that title right now. Holding that title, making it a big deal right now. But what's going on with the title right now? I forgot who's even champion. Completely forgot. I gotta go look that up.
Few months. Other than that, he's just been floating around for a while now. Kevin Owens hasn't even won
I hate that thing with Logan Paul.
a world title in 5 years now. And as many of us remember, that ending of that title reign wasn't too pretty either.
It wasn't. Goldberg shouldn't have beaten him. That shouldn't have been the thing. It was already bad enough that he even had the match with Goldberg. If they were going to do this, and yes, they should have capped it off with him going against Chris Jericho at WrestleMania for the United States Championship, which should have been the Universal Champion versus the United States Champion, which would have been so much better.
To put it simply, Kevin Owens was never misbooked, but he was just underappreciated his entire career with the WWE.
No, NXT he was not by a long shot. When he was NXT, he was basically he could have retired, in my personal opinion, or left the WWE after NXT, if you want to be honest, or after Universal title reign. He could have left. I would have left if I was in his shoes, if knowing that they have nothing else left for me. Once again, he could be on Raw right now, kicking the mess out of Bobby Lashley, trying to win that title.
He's been so undervalued that I don't really think he's a huge star anymore. Kevin Owens is just Kevin Owens. You know what you're going to get. It's going to be a decent storyline with no consequences, and once that feud is over, he's going to continue having unimportant rivalries with mid-card talent. I just think Kevin Owens is so much better than that.
If you're going to make him a mid-card person, I think you should also give him a title on the mid-card. Why? Because it's worth it with him.
I feel like joining AEW would be huge for him. He would probably kick Kenny Omega out of the group to realign himself with the Young Bucks.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Off the bat, that's already... You see, but then at the same time, with the only problem that flies with AEW is how many people are coming after the main title. This is the problem with this category. This is the slight problem with signing so many of these guys at once. And so quick without even finishing up one of the storylines. CM Punk hasn't even tried to go after Kenny Omega yet. So we're not going to see that match yet. And that's understandable. CM Punk probably needs a little more time before he takes that match on. I'm not mad at it. Not at all. But I'm just simply stating that's a cool little thing. But then at the same time, let's not forget. Let's not act like Daniel Bryan's already going after Kenny Omega. And if Kevin Steen went against him, that would be a good match. look how many people are going after the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and you see the problem with them having so many other wrestlers that have to be now kind of, how do I put this? That they can't make that the major goal immediately. They have to take on other people, like Malachi Black. Let's be real, bro. He's taking on the Rhodes family right now. He's taking on the Nightmare family. That's what he's doing right now. He's doing something right now. Daniel Bryan immediately jumping into the World Heavyweight title picture. Immediately jumping in. CM Punk is having literally matches with other people that he just want to have matches with. Christian Cage just finished with that. He just finished with his second, because I think he beat Kenny Omega the first time, right? And took away his Impact title. So, and then you're talking about him going to AEW and making the what's the name even worse. You see, here's the problem with that. If they do this, because this will make sense to immediately do this, he probably would have to wait a little bit. So I say he should be with WWE a little bit longer. Why? Because when he pops up, he is gonna make Adam Cole and the Young Bucks kind of look back and forth at like, shit, the Elite, but my best friend, but the Elite though, but my best friend, the Elite though, because I don't see Kevin Steen, being okay with this, but we'll see what happens.
And Adam Cole, and that would immediately put him in a better position than his current role in the WWE. I personally would rather want to see Kevin Steen wrestle Kenny Omega in a high-profile match instead of seeing the KO show with a random guest every few weeks. That's just an easy choice in my opinion. Something I've noticed about the other talent that also left WWE who joined AEW is that a majority of them say that their passion comes back for pro wrestling, and right now it seems like
it makes sense. Imagine if you were doing something and you were really good and you felt really passionate about it. You could say or do pretty much whatever you wanted. And you went from that to a heavily scripted thing that you had to do certain things. You had to follow certain guidelines. And you weren't really treated as well as a human being should be treated. That is supposed to be on that's supposed to be on their time to be able to make you into a star. You see how the way I just worded that? You're on their time to make you a star. It's making you a star, but at the same time, you're going to be a star in their book. If you're not a star in their book long term, that's sad. And it's funny because I always talk about the wrestling game a lot. Even in my own spare time, I talk about the wrestling game. The reason being, I talk about 2K, WWE 2K, any whatever, is because if you've ever played the game, you know what it's like. You know what it's like when you look at who's currently champion and you can put up matches that you would just like to see, and you can have such and such win the title. You could have Adam Cole take on whoever to become Universal Champion. You could take Daniel Bryan to be WWE Champion one last time. You see, things like this happens. And you could have like Kofi Kingston regaining titles or whatever else. You could do like weird, stupid stuff like that. Really cool stuff. You could have this on a more in your hands. Yeah, it may not be real. The best you can do is probably stream it or just record it happening and just being like, oh my gosh, it happened, guys. Yes, Kevin Owens is this. Yeah, that's the best option that we have at the moment, because when it comes to looking at WWE and the mistakes that they make, it's fine when a person makes mistakes, but when you're playing with somebody else's lives and livelihood, it becomes unfunny. The joke isn't doing as much as you want it to do when it's at somebody else's cost, somebody's livelihood here. You're making someone lose passion for something because you're giving them they already have to go a watered down version of whatever character they already took years to build to be able to come into the WWE. So that's already one thing. So they probably can accept that. They're probably okay with getting that big paycheck immediately to being like, this is the biggest one. So that's fine. I could water down my character a little bit. Now you're no longer watering down your character. Your character's pretty much dry, flat. There's no reviving your character. Congrats.
Kevin Owens is a guy that is just going through the motions. A change in scenery could spark that fire that he once had. There's plenty of matches that we would need to see. Kevin Steen versus Adam Cole. Kevin Steen versus Adam Page. Kevin Steen versus Bryan Danielson. Kevin Steen versus CM Punk. Kevin Steen versus Kenny Omega.
They're all good matches, but I think that for him to do it, he would have to, once again, wait. Because if he does it too soon, there's a lot of matches that already have to happen. I think should happen before Kevin Steen steps into there. So, that's a thing.
Kevin Steen versus Cody Rhodes. Do you see the potential in Kevin Owens joining AEW? Those matches would...
Calm down. Calm down. You have to remember, no matter because if the roles were reversed right now, we'll be saying the exact same thing about Kenny Omega or anyone else. Let's say Roman Reigns left today. There is so many potential matches he could step into. A lot of people will probably say CM Punk immediately, Kenny Omega immediately. They'll probably go even sign other wrestlers who probably weren't even with WWE just for one match. Just for one match. So, calm down. It's true. Yes, this is a big thing for a wrestler like this, and this is bad for the WWE's pockets and the WWE to be able to make new stars. They do need, at this point, they need more signings. They do need more. When I say signings, I mean established stars. This is the problem when you sign so many you didn't know what to do with. Problems like this pop up. To be honest with you, if you want me to be honest, I'm glad I'm not with the WWE or AEW. Why? Because if I was in AEW, I'd be having a field day with being able to write all these storylines. With WWE, I would be kind of pissed because I couldn't even get one half of my story out before being told no because he didn't like my story. Even though mine is to make the star stay because you don't see the star. But I'm just simply saying, EC3 should have stayed. He should have been in NXT for at least a good 3 years to at least win a few matches, become North American champion or NXT champion before winning United States or Intercontinental champion for a good while. And then he could win the WWE championship. And he could have left immediately after dropping the title. I wouldn't have minded, because I would have just been happy EC3 was in WWE and he was able to do this. But nope, they messed up on a massive star and massive rivalries he could have been in. So, do I feel bad for WWE losing a lot of stars? No. I don't feel bad. I get upset because these stars do have families. These stars are legitimately good. These guys are good. These guys and girls are good, and they're losing so many of them so quickly. And it's not funny anymore. At first, it was funny. Adam Rose is gone. That's fine. EC3, oh my gosh, it's fine. It's fine when you're losing one or two. Rusev gone. He could have still stayed. He still could have been a force to be reckoned with right now. Lana could have stayed, and y'all could have went back to the old character. He was too popular to leave, but you had him leave. Aleister fucking Black, bro. I'm sorry, but he could have been WWE champion before leaving at least. At least. What main card title did he even hold? Did he even win the tag titles? I don't remember. You see my problem, bro. They're wasting these stars, and it's not even funny. And it's stupid. It's infuriating that they're messing with these stars' livelihood, and they get these goddamn no complete clause for like 3 months of sitting there. They had the best high flyer, Adrian goddamn Neville, on their roster. They had him in NXT. He was a great NXT champion. He was an awesome 205 Live Cruiserweight champion. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. He was the reason I watched 205 Live. Him, TJ Perkins, who else? Perkins. That was his name, right? It was TJP. It was TJP, right? It was Perkins. His last name was Perkins, right? You know what I mean. You had so many, bro. That's only two off the bat. That's only two. Where is my man's who? I forgot his name, bro. It's he has like the captain's hook, bro. You have too many good wrestlers that can be either semi in like the United States picture right now, the Intercontinental Championship conversation even. They don't always have to go for the WWE or the Universal. There is two other titles plus tag titles. You see what I mean? If you wanted to build stars for tomorrow's usage, you have them. Just wait. Some of them understandable right now is not the good moment for you. Have them go wrestle somebody else for now. Oh, we don't want you to go for the WWE Championship right now. Fine, he could go for the United States, the Intercontinental Championship. But nope, we can't do that. We can't do that. It doesn't work. I guess we don't have no story for him. Sometimes you don't even need the story. Just have him fight the guy. Let them legit go out there and shoot wrestle and see what happens. The only reason I even care about this is because this is something I used to watch when I was a kid. That's literally the only reason I even care about this. Because this is something I used to watch as a kid when Eddie Guerrero was wrestling. When Big Show was, actually good. Not as... not like a one-trick wonder like he is now. He's not just a simple big guy hit hard. When he was like big guy hit hard, big guy throw, big guy do big guy things. Like things like that. When he was like... that when Ryback was in the mug, when it was fine with what they were doing, when it was fine back in the day, it's not fine right now. WWE is going back to an old time and they don't have an instant recovery like they did. This isn't 2015. 2015 was a bad year for WWE. How many injuries and stuff was going on and stuff was sidelining some massive events. That was not good, bro, for the WWE at all, and it wasn't even their fault. But come on, you have all these wrestlers, these darn good wrestlers who can talk good on the mic, who can do very amazing in the ring if you just give them a chance. But because you have this mindset already that I get it. You're going off of your old principles. Big guy, he should always win. He's big, he's tough, he's sweaty. He's the big muscle package that has a good character to it. Yes, that's cool, that's fine, that's dandy, but that's not the end all to be all. This is not it, bro. We can't keep doing that for stuff like this no more. We should be past it now. We should be looking past that.
Have anybody who watches AEW excited and hyped. That is why it would not be a bad idea if he does join AEW.
Watch League of Legends videos ad-free and learn to win uninterrupted. Try our student plan.
The KFC sandwich isn't just delicious, it's huge. Go on and get yourself one today.
AEW is thrashing you for one big reason. It's not just because they're signing all of your former. It's not just because of that. You see what they're doing with your former is they're giving them time to breathe. They're not just all crammed up. And even when they're crammed up, they're still able to have fun in the ring. They're still able to have a little bit of fun in there. It's not so... I get it that you have certain things you want to happen, certain things you don't want to happen. But you have to understand we're no longer in certain eras anymore. We're not in the Hulk Hogan era where you can just have one massive star and that's it. We don't. Kenny Omega's a massive star. I clap for Kenny Omega. I clap for that man, but he ain't all that. His promo skills are upright, sometimes even more garbage than the goddamn some of the one-off matches you give for some wrestlers. This is more garbage than playing W2K 20 and thinking, I'm gonna play universe mode for 1 year. Oh, we what happened? Couldn't finish. You lost the match? Nah, we glitched out and I had to reset it. So I kinda got bored and I didn't want to do that again. It's like they're getting your wrestlers either work together with them so they can go back and forth. Let them change their names or keep the names or whatever, or start treating these suckers better. Because if you don't, you about to be a broke business. You about to be a very rich business, but with nothing to give. You managed to do it back in the times with WCW and ECW and all this other stuff, but you're not able to do it overall. You have literally, you have NXT right now that's killing it in its own little thing that's going through a change right now. You have NXT UK that's also killing it. Not really going, well, it kind of feels like it's going through the same thing, but it feels like it just feels like it's not as popular as just NXT by itself. So 205 Live is dead. Oh, excuse me, hold on, I'm sorry. 205 Live is dead. It's dead. It's straight up dead. I'm sorry, I don't even watch 205 Live. I don't even know who's champion, who's even cruiserweight champion. I have zero clue. I think wait, no, I do know. Isn't it like the little crew of people, because they beat Homeboy for it. I didn't expect him to do it so quick, but yeah, that was kind of surprising to me personally. That's what I like about NXT. Like the title be dropping like kind of quick, and like it's kind of cool. To me personally, it's not always a guarantee that you keep the title as much as you probably would think they would, but yeah, that's a thing. But you got Keith Lee right now on the shelf. Where's Keith Lee at, bro? He should be right now. You know what Keith Lee should be? He should be having his old theme music back right now, destroying some characters right now. He should be upright, having some classics right now with some of your best to your worst. You have too many wrestlers for this stuff to go down. You had too many wrestlers in 2015. From 2013 up to now, you had some good wrestlers, some good times. You had some good matches. I still love the Usos versus Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. That was still my favorite tag team match. Still my favorite. The New Day may be the only way to even rival that. But overall, that was a darn good match to me personally. But then now you can't recapture that because they gone. Well, sadly, Luke Harper is sadly gone, so I do feel bad for that. Rest in peace. I'm sorry. But you got so much stuff like this just gone. AEW messing up on a Dark Order, imploding on itself right now. That's a small mistake, but that's not too bad. It seems like they can make miniature Dark Order things, so it's not that bad. But no, you took away the Hurt Business. That could have been, two different... Oh my gosh, I can't do this, bro. I don't want to talk anymore.
And now we have to speak about why staying with the WWE would be the better option. And honestly, I was trying to think about it, and there's not too many positives. The biggest difference, though, between WWE and AEW is the salary. Kevin Owens would make more money if you were to stay with the WWE. His contract would probably be worth more, and his merchandise sales are also a nice bonus. Kevin Owens even bragged about this to a fan in attendance who was trying to talk shit about him during one of his matches on a live event show. The machine that is WWE is just so large that I can't see AEW being able to compete when it comes to the financial aspect of this deal. I think this is big for Kevin Owens because he's a family man. If there's one thing he loves, it's his family, and he just wants to take care of them. However, he does work more because of WWE's touring schedule, so even though he would be making more money for his family, it also means seeing them less, and that might be something that he will consider as well. Another positive is that WWE does not treat him too terribly. Like, when you look at Adam Cole, who was about to be a manager for Keith Lee, that is just sad. Kevin Owens isn't that badly booked. If you think about it, he had a match against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 36, and at WrestleMania 37, he faced off against Sami Zayn before giving Logan Paul a stunner. So he's not too bad. Even recently, he's been a part of a pretty cool feud with Baron Corbin and Logan Paul right now. So I could see WWE setting up a singles match with Logan Paul and Kevin Owens Owens at WrestleMania 38. That could honestly happen. So he's not in a position where he's in catering, but I do believe he's capable of so much more. However, he could be worse off. It's not too bad. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, another reason why I could see him staying in the WWE is that he's been there for so long, and Kevin Owens has so many friends that he's made over the years. He is close with Vince McMahon and Triple H, and it's really hard to leave all of that. Basically, WWE treats him well, he's making good money, and he's got a family that he made at the WWE. I think those are all good reasons to stay with the company. And now it's time for me to tell you what I think
AEW.
Kevin Owens should do, as well as what I think is most likely going to happen. If I was Kevin Owens, I would leave WWE and join AEW because there's just so many positive things about it. He would be a part of the best work of his life, and I think that's the most rewarding thing about all of this. Kevin Owens has so many dream matches available in AEW, and he would become one of the hottest things in professional wrestling. Right now,
It's funny that they become the hottest thing when they leave the big company. Nope, I'm done with this video. I can't do this. I'm so sorry. I cannot do this no more, bro. The headache I'm getting right now, the upright headache I'm getting from this is infuriating. How long have I been recording? 37 minutes? I'm so sorry, y'all, for making it so long. But it's so much to say. I can't do it. How much longer in this video? I'm sorry. We're ending it now. I can't do this. I'm so sorry. I'm done. WWE, whatever you do, thank you for the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns thing currently going on. Thank you for that. That's nice to see. I love it. Now give Brock Lesnar to Bobby Lashley immediately after this. No? You have no plans? Okay, cool. Let that match pass up again.